Forever in Love Romance Tips for Married Couples. This is Jay with RelationshipLoveAdvice.com. Are you worried about romance fading from your marriage and you're looking for ways to get it back? Rest assured there are plenty of little things you can do to strike that spark up again. No matter how deeply you're in love, romance tips can go a long way towards getting that love and feeling alive for decades to come. You can schedule a date night. I'm sure you've heard this advice before. It'd be great to go out to a fancy restaurant once a week, but there's a budget to keep and kids to watch sometimes. Who has the money or the time? Well, you probably do if you use a little bit of imagination. Maybe you're on a tight budget. You could stay in and make a gourmet meal together. Can't find a sitter? Try swapping kids with other parents. You watch theirs on Friday night and they watch yours on Saturday night. Spice up your lovemaking. Even when you're truly in love, romance tips for the bedroom tend to fall by the wayside when you're trying to deal with everything else that goes on in life. And if you feel passion's faded a little bit, put some real effort into reviving it. Take some time to actually talk about your turn-ons and desires. Sometimes just a book on lovemaking ideas can be enough to get your motors running again. Take a look at your behavior. For some reason, it seems the more familiar we become with someone, no matter how much we love that person, we tend to forget our manners around them. We might end up criticizing, nagging, or taking them for granted. It's not comfortable to admit, but most of us develop a few bad habits over time. And that's why it can help to take a cold, hard look at how you treat your spouse and work on less than loving behavior that might be killing that romance. Have real conversations. If you've ever found that you have nothing to say over dinner, except for maybe how's the roast, or worse, you can't think of anything to say, make talking to each other again a top priority. Remember, for those who are in love, romance tips that are effective don't always work just by bringing in the roses and lighting up a candle. The foundation of romance is emotional intimacy, and you'll only reach that through frequent, open conversations about things that really matter. And give more. Both common sense and sociological studies hold that the more each partner invests in their marriage, the more they generally get out of it. When one partner freely expresses their love, it sets off a cycle of giving and giving back between the two of you that's hard to hold back from. The nice thing is that it only takes one partner to kick off this cycle, and you just want to make sure that you don't get stuck in the position where you're always being taken advantage of, or you feel any kind of resentment that you don't get as much in return. So make sure you pay attention to that. If you're starting to feel like the average potato soup has more romance in it than your marriage does right now, it's time to do something about it. A dull spell can lead to serious marital problems all too quickly. So if you want to keep your love alive, romance tips like the ones I just mentioned are a good place to start. This is Jay with RelationshipLoveAdvice.com. And if you haven't discovered the 7 truths of love, then you're going to breathe new life in your relationship when you visit RelationshipLoveAdvice.com and discover what few people ever consider in their relationships.